السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. إذا نبدأ مباشرة. إياك نأخذ بعين الاعتبار الناس اللي تشوف إعادة البث. Donc, ce direct est diffusé simultanément sur le groupe RGSM et également sur la page, ma page, Learning English Successfully. Et le sujet, comme vous le savez, c'est sur l'apprentissage en ligne, تعلم عن بعد. أولا نختار أتوجه بالشكر لأعضاء جروب RGSM لإتاحة الفرصة للمرة الثانية على منصتهم، وأخص بالذكر عابدين تفاق ومحمد سالك لمساعدتهم ولمساعدتهم على تسهيل هذه المشاركة. Donc, le sujet principal, ce sera l'apprentissage en ligne. On va commencer par définir c'est quoi l'e-learning, et puis on va passer vers les avantages et puis les défis. Et vers la fin, on va parler des MOOC, donc les cours universitaires qui sont gratuitement disponibles sur le web. Le direct sera en anglais, mais ne vous inquiétez pas, je vais tout expliquer. معناها الأفكار الأساسية والمعاني الأساسية كلها إن شاء الله سنتعرض لها بشكل واضح ومفهوم بإذن الله. Et bien sûr, si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez les poser tout au long du direct. Et je vais essayer, on va les noter Inch'Allah, et puis je vais essayer de répondre à ces questions إما خلال le direct ou vers la fin. Donc نبدأ على بركة الله. just يعني مسألة نتعرضوا لها سابقا نبدأ الديركت. فيه إن شاء الله راح تعود جائزة للناس اللي تشارك. ما شاء الله عندنا ناس انضمت. راح تعود فيه جائزة للمشاهد الأكثر تفاعل معنا إن شاء الله. راح تعود عبارة عن نسخة مطبوعة كاملة من كتاب إنجليشان وتاسا كافيه إنجليشان إن شاء الله. هذا بالنسبة لي أنا نوفرها ولنشوف إن شاء الله مع أعضاء RGSM إذا أمكن إن شاء الله نحصل على جائزة للإنسان اللي يشارك معنا الإنسان اللي يعني الناس اللي يشارك معنا، الشخص اللي يعود أكثر مشاركة معنا خلال اللايف توك. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start. I would like to ask you if you can tell me, is everything clear? Can you hear me? Is the sound audible? If not, just write a comment and I will be able to see it, and then maybe we'll try to fix it. Just remember that this is, I can see that we have 7 people. Remember that this is a live talk, so your participation will be appreciated. And I will just start right away. Okay. I see the comments. We don't have a sound problem so far. People are saying hi. Okay. Yes, everything is clear. Great. Okay, so we can start then. Let me just repeat what we're going to do in this live talk. Basically, we'll be talking about e-learning, and we will talk about the advantages of e-learning. Then we will talk about the challenges, and we will try to focus on the. Thank you, Mohamed. Then we'll try to focus on the challenges, تحديات, and we will focus on the case of Mauritania and the Maghreb region in general. Right at the end, we will talk about the MOOCs, the open online courses offered by universities, and we will open a session where you can ask your questions and I will be happy to answer them. So let's start by defining what is e-learning. Basically, an e-learning platform is a website, موقع إلكتروني, a website on which there are courses that are offered in the form of audios, videos, PDF documents, or any electronic form. Actually, e-learning stands for electronic learning. So let me just repeat again. We have a website that offers courses in the form of videos, audios, and PDF documents. الدروس توفر على شكل وثائق، على شكل تسجيلات صوتية أو فيديوهات. Now, if we have 12 people watching, And I'm going to ask the question, can any one of you guys give me an example of an e-learning platform that you personally use or probably know someone who's using it? An e-learning platform. I'm going to be giving you some examples and you can... Okay, I see you can start. Okay, just give me examples. I will give you an example in platforms that we have in English, platforms that we have in Arabic, and platforms in French. For instance, in English you have a very well-known platform, Khan Academy. A lot of people know it. Okay, I see that Talib is giving an example of Coursera. That's a great example. Another example in English also is Udemy. Probably most of you know it. In Arabic we have platforms such as Rawaq. We have also another one called Idrak. And we have nadrus.com. In French you have Open Classrooms. We have lynda.com. Okay, that's also... we have Parfait. Okay, I see a lot of examples. In French, I can mention the example of Open Classrooms, but also there is another platform known as DigiSchool. So these are platforms that offer courses in the form of videos, audios, or PDF documents. And we can consider them as e-learning platforms, as examples of e-learning platforms. I'm just going to add this new member. Sorry about my hand. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, you've given me a few examples. That's good. I'm just going to fix this little problem here, technical problem, so that I will be able to see your comments. Okay, let's just carry on. Now let's talk about the advantages. What makes e-learning special? مزايا تعلم عن بعد. If we compare e-learning to learning in a classroom, in a traditional classroom, like what most of us do, what are the advantages of e-learning? The first one is about independence, which in Arabic we say الاستقلالية والحرية. In e-learning, what makes e-learning special is that it is personalizable. Learning, when you're learning on a platform, learning is a personal choice that you make. It's not like going to school. You sit down at home and you decide to learn this topic or that topic. So it's a personal choice that you make. You get to choose the topic that you want to study. So you get to what are you going to study? It's up to you. You get to choose math, for instance. You get to choose science. You get to choose computer science, literature, poetry. Anything you want. It's your personal choice. But not only that, you also get to choose the method of studying. منهجية التعلم. How are you going to study this subject of yours? Some people like to study sitting on their desks. Al-Maktab. Others like to study in the bus. Other people like to study taking long walks. And e-learning makes it possible for you to do all of this. Because in e-learning, courses are available all the time and accessible. You can simply download the video or the audio and start using it. So you get to choose the way you want to use it. Not like in the classroom. When you're in the classroom, you're forced to sit down, do what the teacher tells you, and there is nothing personal. It's basically something that everyone else is supposed to do, and you're no difference. You're not different. You have to do what others are doing. Also, another advantage which has to do with being independent is the fact that when we're talking about e-learning, everyone can learn. It does not have anything to do with age. Young people can learn and old people can learn. I am not able to see your comments, so what I will do is I'm going to use my computer right here and try to track your comments on my laptop, because on the phone I can't see them. Just give me a second. I will fix this problem and be back right now. I'm going to the group RSM. Normally I should find the LiveTalk. Here it is. And hopefully I will be able to see your comments. Okay. I think that now if I look to my computer, if I ask a question, you can write your answers and I'll be able to see them on my computer because I can't see them on the laptop. So I just mentioned that e-learning gives you the possibility to learn in your own personal way. As I mentioned, some people like learning on the desk, others in the bus, others taking long walks. And it's also open for everyone. You don't have to be young to use e-learning and you don't have to be old to use it. It's open to everyone. There is no difference. Also, e-learning gives you the possibility to choose your schedule and the time you want to study. When do you want to study? Some people study when they get back from work at night. Others study early in the morning. And e-learning, once again, makes it possible for you to do that. Now, I have one question for you, just to make sure that you guys are still here. And my question is, what is your favorite way of studying? Let's suppose that you are part of an e-learning platform. And on this platform, we make it available for you all the courses in videos, audios, and PDF documents. And you're able to download them. What is your favorite way of studying? Will you study on your desk? Just as I mentioned in the examples, in the bus or outside. Write a comment. What is your favorite way of studying? And I will check if I can see the comments or not. What is your favorite way of studying? Okay, Tal does not agree with me about old people, young people. I don't understand why do you think young people should not use e-learning? Because as we said, it's an independent thing. You get to choose what you want to study. Young people have the right to choose what they want to study. If you can clarify. If you can clarify, that will be awesome. Talib, I can see your comment, but just tell me, why should young people avoid using e-learning? Because I don't understand your question, or rather your objection. Okay, I'm going to be waiting for your answers because I can see that this is not real time. I talk and then you get the image. If you answer, I prefer studying on my desk. Okay, Jean Abdullah, great. Your favorite way of studying is on your desk. That's awesome. I will be waiting for the other answers. Now, that was number one. Number one was independence. You get to study the way you want, at the time you want, and you choose the topic you want to study. Now, let's move on to the second advantage. And the second advantage is about accessibility and mobility. If you want to study any course, on e-learning, all you need is a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. You get to download the topic, you get to download the videos, the PDF documents, and the audios, and use them immediately. You put on your headphones, and you can use them immediately. This allows you to use your course anywhere you want. And this has to do with accessibility and mobility. Let me just give you an example. My favorite way of studying, my favorite way of studying or listening to a course is taking long walks. I take long walks every day. And if there is a video or a lecture that I want to listen to, usually what I would do is download this video. Before downloading it, for instance, I would convert it to an MP3 file. Then download it, put it in my tablet, and put on my headphones. Then I can listen to this lecture in my way while I'm doing my footing. And at the same time, I also have the freedom to listen to it again and again until I understand the topic or until I learn what I want to learn. This e-learning makes it possible for you to do this. Let's suppose that you're taking a course in English. All you need to do is to download the video. Then you can listen to the video any way you want. And this is also true for the PDF documents. I can see that we have a question. Okay, this is also true for PDF documents. Once you download the PDF document in your smartphone or in your tablet, all you need to do is to open your tablet and read it. You can read it in the bus, as I mentioned, but you can also read it while waiting for your friend or waiting for your doctor. So it gives you this freedom of mobility, and you can study almost anywhere. You don't even need an internet connection once you download the PDF document or once you download the video. So that was the second advantage. The fact that you can learn, that e-learning gives you the freedom, the mobility. Next thing that, one thing that you should note here is that this is not valid for all kind of courses. Because of course when you are studying computer science, when you're studying, for instance, programming, it does not help to put the lesson in your smartphone and then listen to it. You have to sit down and start typing on your computer. So it works for certain topics, but it doesn't work for every topic. Let me just ask you this question. I will take a break and ask you this question. That will give me the chance to read some of your questions. My question is, what do you think? Let's suppose that we have a platform up and running, and we have different courses on this platform. My question now is, what kind of course would you take? What course would you take? Would you take a course on computer science, on English, on marketing, management? Write it down in your comment. What will be the course that you will be taking on this platform? Okay, I see. I have two things to deal with here. Mohamed is mentioning that you can study at your own pace. This is absolutely true. With e-learning, you're not forced to finish the course in 2 hours. You have the right to take your time. Instead of studying, for instance, you have a chapter in English, in computer science. Instead of studying it for 1 week, you can study it for 1 month. Or even you can even study it in 2 days. So it depends on you. You study at your own pace. This is a good point. Thank you very much, Mohamed. Khadi mentioned that the problem is with fake universities. Universities that are not real universities. This is true, but Khadi, this is very easy to avoid. Because any university, when you access the website, you get to check if it's an original website or not. You check if it's HTTP or HTTPS. I think I will keep this point until the end of this video and I will deal with it. Fake universities and how to avoid them. Because they pose a problem, but they can also be easily avoided. Guys, I asked you a question. What will be the course that you will be taking? Mona will be taking computer science, okay? Khadi will be taking computer science also. Great. Okay, I'm looking for a comment right here too. There's a comment that I need to get. Just answer the question. I will get the comments and answer some of your questions. I will be able to get them even at the end of this video when we get to the question and answer session. Now, allow me to move on to the next advantage. So we talked about independence, being independent, and also mobility. Now let's talk about the cost. The difference between e-learning and traditional learning is huge when we look at the cost. Because if you want to study on an e-learning platform, basically what you need is a computer. You just need a computer, and an internet connection. Once you get these two, you have no problem. You can access the website or the platform and learn as you want. Or it helps, the same thing is true when you have a tablet. Once you have a tablet, you can easily download your course and use it. Of course, it helps to have a smartphone so that you can listen to your courses while walking or while doing your sport. But basically, these electronic devices, all of us have them basically. Just look around and find any person and ask him or her, do you have a computer? Their answer is very likely going to be yes. Do you have a smartphone? Yes. Do you have a tablet? Yes. So these are devices that almost all of us have already. And once you have these devices, you basically access to the platform and you start taking your courses. Of course, most of the best e-learning platforms, they don't offer their courses freely, but the cost of the course is very low when compared to the cost of the traditional classroom, especially when you take out the commuting cost. Usually in a traditional classroom, you have to commute, you have to go from where you live to your university. In e-learning, you don't have to do that because you can study at home, or if you're working, you could study at work. So we get rid of the cost of commuting, and at the same time, we save money because we don't need to buy any equipment. Once you have your computer, you can access and download your courses and start reading them. Talib is going to study data science. Great. Okay, we have other people who are going to take software trainings. Great. So let's move on. Just let me repeat. We mentioned that there is a huge difference between e-learning and traditional platforms and traditional classrooms. I'm sorry. Now let me just move on to the last advantage, and then we will try to recapitulate what I said. The last advantage that we are going to talk about that e-learning has in comparison with traditional learning is the fact that it's longevity. The fact that there is no expiration date for your course. Usually when you come to the traditional classroom, you attend to the lecture, your professor is giving the lecture. Once the lecture is over, you're only left with the notes that you've been able to take during the class session. You only have the notes. But with e-learning, you have the video, you have the audio, and you have the PDF document. So you basically have your course between your hands along the way. You take it with you home and you can keep it for years and years. So this is an advantage that e-learning has in comparison with traditional classrooms. The fact that you get to keep your courses and that your courses stay with you for a long time. Okay, now let me ask you the last question as far as advantages are concerned. Just one more thing. I have to say, because I was mentioning the advantages of e-learning, I have to mention that I am not for e-learning when it's just e-learning. I think that the best thing we can do is to try to mix both e-learning and class sessions. This is known as blended learning, and I think it's the best. For instance, we're trying to experiment with this here in SUS with some of English students. We have class sessions, but at the same time, the students get to access the website and the YouTube channel to watch videos, special videos made for them, and they try to link both what we studied in the classroom and online. And I think this is the best way to approach e-learning, is to try to mix it with class sessions, not just e-learning. This also will be a good news for anyone who believes in traditional learning. And because teachers, just because we have e-learning, this does not mean that traditional classroom teachers will have no job and will go home and sit down. This is not going to happen. This is why I suggest that the best thing is blended learning. And of course, you're free to disagree with me. And that's why the next question is, are you for blended learning, which means e-learning plus classroom sessions, or are you only for e-learning? I'm going to take 1 minute to check your questions. I totally agree with you, Mohamed. Mohamed, right. Right. Yes, of course, e-learning, which is also more methodological, and of course that follows e-learning. Regular basis will be. Okay, I totally disagree with you about the advantage of e-learning in comparison with traditional learning. Okay, Talib is for blended learning. I'm asking the rest of you, are you for blended learning or not? I have to access all the comments so that I can answer your questions before we move on to the next session, because we've just finished talking about the advantages and we need to move on to the challenges, and we will focus, as I said, on the case of Mauritania and the Maghreb region. But I can't access your comments. I'm not able. Something happened on the screen and I can't access them, but I will definitely check them out in a moment. Okay, so let's move on to the challenges that we face, that e-learning faces in Mauritania and also in the Maghreb region. We just talked about e-learning and we mentioned that it's a good thing. But the question is, why do a lot of people stop taking online courses after a week or two? This is what we'll be talking about. And I think that the first reason has to do with motivation. A lot of people start taking courses on a platform and then give up. And the problem is motivation. I'm going to give you a personal example. 2 years ago, I was online and I discovered that Yale University, which is still one of the best universities in the world and in the United States, it was offering an open course, a MOOC. And they were offering courses on almost any topic. And they were offering filmed lectures. So all the lectures were filmed. The students' participation was also filmed. And the lectures were transcribed. Documents were provided. Everything was available on their website. And I was super excited because this was the very first time. Okay, great. I'm getting your questions, but Fatima is sending them to me. Everything was filmed, and so I was very excited. And what I did is, instead of taking one course and finishing it, I started taking many courses at the same time. I remember taking physics, astronomy, psychology, political science, economics, finance. I was taking all of these courses at the same time. And at one point, I had to stop because it was too much. I am a student, I'm studying in the university, and at the same time taking all of these courses. So after the first week, I basically had to stop. And I decided to take one course on computer science and finish it. So once you decide to start taking an online course, what you need to do is to try to be organized and keep up your motivation. Ask yourself, why do I want to study this? Why do I want to study this course? And what is my motivation? And be organized. And I really recommend that you take one course, you finish it, and then you move on to the next course, instead of taking 2 or 3 courses and then giving up later on, like exactly what happened to me 2 years ago. And it helps also, if you want to keep your motivation, what helps is to try to be a part of a group, try to be part of a community. And the best e-learning platforms always tend to have a community, to build a community around them, so that learners can share ideas and try to solve problems together. So if you're part of an e-learning class session or taking an e-learning course, make sure, or hopefully in the future you're going to be part of an e-learning course, make sure you be part of a community and organize yourself and take the minimum course and then move on to the second course, instead of taking a lot of courses and then giving up at one point. So that was the number one challenge. It has to do with the person, with you as the learner, your motivation and your organization. The second challenge, this is something that is true basically for us here in the Maghreb region, also very likely in Mauritania, but I'm not sure. I think in Mauritania we don't have this problem, not as big of a problem as we have here in Tunis, for instance. This problem has to do with online payment, the ability to pay courses online. In countries like Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, as I said, I'm not sure. In Mauritania, I don't think we have this problem. I think we can buy courses online. In these countries, PayPal is not accessible. You don't get to buy things on the internet. So far, we hope that this problem will be solved at one point. But so far, PayPal is not accessible. And so you can't buy courses online. Of course, the solution here is to try to find a way to make these products physical. Try to print the PDF documents into paper, and also to put the videos and audios on a DVD or on a hard drive, so that students can take the physical product and use their courses. So that was the second challenge, the fact that PayPal is not accessible in many countries, especially our countries. The third problem, I will be back to your questions in a moment because I'm getting them. I will be back because we will just finish the challenges and then we will move on to the Q&A answer after the MOOCs. The second challenge, this is basically for us in Mauritania, has to do with internet connection. On the platform, on an e-learning platform, usually the courses are streamed. You access the internet, you go to the platform and you watch the course online, you stream it online. And this needs a high-speed internet connection. Generally speaking, in Mauritania, the internet connection is rather low. We don't have a high-speed internet connection. And so this poses a problem. We don't have the ability to stream the course online. Just to give you an example, my friend and I are working on a website that will be out soon in Mauritania. And he started by designing the website and working on the website using WordPress, which gave us the possibility to use beautiful design and also beautiful layout. But at one point we had to stop and we decided to switch to PHP and Laravel because we knew that WordPress, just loading the page with all the pictures and design in Mauritania will take a lot of time. And so we switch it to PHP because it's better. So this internet connection problem is serious, and hopefully a friend of mine told me that they are now installing fiber optics in Mauritania, and that definitely will solve the problem. But until then, we have to deal with it. And the solution also in this case is of course to provide the products in a physical format, in the form of paper, DVDs and hard drives. We'll be back, as I said, to your questions in a moment. Last problem that we have last challenge that e-learning has to do with copyright issues. Any content creator, anyone who has a platform, an online platform that offers courses, will try to protect his or her products. And one common thing that we have is you have one student coming to the platform and buying the product. And then this student will take the product and copy it and distribute it to his or her friends. And this is something that the content creator does not accept, because imagine someone who works really hard on creating videos, audios and PDF documents, and then someone else comes and distributes his work freely. This is a serious problem, and basically we can't do anything about it. Same thing with people who take products and put them on torrent for free download. This is only government regulations can help solving this problem. And it's a problem that anyone who's thinking about e-learning, building a platform, has to deal with. You will give me, once again, 1 minute and I will try to read some of your questions. So everyone should sign up for the highest rated course on the subject. They're interested. That way they won't regret and they will get best quality. Great. This is a great idea by Jean. Jean just mentioned that when you try to learn, because a lot of you want to study computer science. When you go to an e-learning platform, usually you will find a lot of courses on computer science. You go to Udemy, for instance, you get a lot of courses on computer science. Now, the best thing, as Jean suggests, is to try to look at the rating, the stars, or the rating, the system of rating that they have on the platform, and look at what do people like the most. What is the most that gets the best rating from people, from the students on the platform? Then you choose that course, because sometimes you have, just exactly as Jean said, this guarantees the best quality. When you do this, you get to use the best course on the platform. And I totally agree with this. You need to practice to be sure that you just comments are jumping away from me. But I'm going to read all your comments. I see that Mona has a comment and I will read it in a moment. Great, Khadi, definitely anything that is scientific. Japanese are known to be very good on topics that are scientific. If you find a university, a Japanese university, and you are interested in science, definitely go for it. Especially when they are asking you to study in English instead of learning Japanese, because if you have to learn Japanese from scratch, it will take a lot of time. But if the university teaches in English, that will be definitely the best choice you can make. Mona, I think it depends on the course. You need to practice to be sure that you understand the course for computer science. E-learning is sufficient because you can practice alone. You just need a computer. But for other sciences, I think it's better to do blended learning. Great. This is a great idea, Mona. Mona mentioned that for computer science, for instance, you can practice immediately. Let's suppose that you're studying Java. You look at the course in front of you on the screen and you start practicing on your computer. If it works, it will work immediately. So in this case, as Mona mentioned, you don't need blended learning. You don't need to go to the classroom. But for other courses, let's say marketing, you need to see the teacher, or maybe you need to ask him more questions. I totally agree with this, Mona, but I think also, even in this case, if you have taken any course on computer science, sometimes you watch the course, but you still have some questions. You want to ask the teacher, why did you use that command? Why did you use this system, not that system? So here it also helps to have blended learning, but not as much as for another course. A great idea, a great insight. Okay, Aziz said, just use the torrent website to download courses. This is easy for you to say, Aziz, when you are just a student. But when you look at someone else who worked really hard on the course, this person bought the equipment, bought the camera, bought the lighting, bought the microphone, everything. He invested in this course, and he's offering you this course in a good quality. And then instead of buying this course on his website, you go to torrent and you download the course freely. This is not really fair, but definitely a lot of people are doing it, and some people are forced to do it because in certain companies we don't even have the ability to buy products online, so we're forced to use torrent or another website to download them illegally. But I think and I believe that the best way is to buy the course and then use it, not use torrent. And if you use torrent, please don't tell others how to use torrent, because this will be very bad for the business of e-learning in general. Great insights, everyone. Mohamed Sark, problem de motivation, continue. Problème d'isolement. À échanger avec les gens et construire par suite. Great, Mohamed Sark. Mohamed Sark mentioned the problem of motivation. Great. Just as I mentioned earlier, motivation poses a problem because in e-learning, you're alone at home. You're studying at home with your computer or with your tablet. So you don't get to interact with other people. You're in isolation, as Mohamed mentioned. And this is why one solution, as I mentioned, is to be part of a community. When you join a platform where you have a community, you can join people, learners, on the group or on the Facebook page and try to interact with them. And this will give you the possibility to practice and socialize with other learners like you. But still, we do have this problem we still do have this problem as far as e-learning is concerned, the problem of motivation. Thank you so much, Mohamed, for the insight. Sheikha is asking, what do I mean by blended learning? Well, blended learning is when you have classroom sessions and e-learning at the same time. As the example that I mentioned, we're studying English. So I meet with the students in the classroom. I explain to them, let's say we're talking about a topic, a given topic. I share with them the main lesson in the classroom. And then when we finish the class session, I tell them, go to the website. I have a video for you, or I have this document for you. You read this document or watch that video. This is blended learning. You take classroom session, but at the same time you use the benefit and the advantages of e-learning. So you get blended learning. We have a question from Talib. Vous parlez en tant qu'étudiant, en tant qu'apprenant, que faire si... If you are a teacher and you have courses, you have prepared your courses, Talib. If you have prepared your courses, basically there are platforms that give you the possibility to... Udemy, for instance. Udemy gives you the possibility to upload, to create your own account and upload your course and buy to students. So as a teacher, and I do think that Udemy is not the only platform that allows you to do this. There are other platforms that allow content creators, teachers to reach out to their students. And you can either, so the solution basically in a nutshell, you can either create your own platform and sell your course or share your course with the public, or you can use these other platforms, sharing platforms. You have Udemy, and you also have another platform called Skillshare, where you can upload your courses and other people will be able to watch your course and benefit from it. Thank you so much for your question, Tal. Blended learning, combining traditional learning with e-learning. Great, Aziz, that's exactly the right definition. Okay, Aziz suggests using torrent for people who have the online payment problem. This is true and we have to do it. I study computer science and sometimes I need to use a software that I don't have. It's very dangerous to say this on camera, but I'm not going to finish it. Anyway, some people have problems buying, let's say my friend for instance needs to use SolidWorks. He studied mechanics and robotics. This person can't buy SolidWorks because he can't pay for it. The only solution is to use torrent for the moment. But of course, once you get to pay, you should definitely pay for the platform or for the software developer who provided you with the software. Great insight. I'm just going to check for the last time if we have any questions. If yes, I will answer. Otherwise, I will have to move to MOOCs. We have a class where we're doing exactly what you said. Blended learning. Great, Jane. It's the best. I can assure you, it's the best. You get to use both classroom sessions and e-learning at the same time. You get the advantages of both. It's great to interact with your teacher. It's great to meet with your students in the classroom and discuss what happened on the platform. This actually, the role of the teacher kind of changes in the classroom. Instead of coming to the classroom and just giving the lessons, now you get the chance to discuss with your students. So what do you think of that video? What do you think of that document? Did you read it? Did you see this? And it becomes a classroom discussion instead of a classroom session that is unusual. Great. Just check if we have another question. Otherwise, we can move on to MOOCs. Great. Now let's just end with MOOCs. So a MOOC, M-O-O-C, stands for Massive Open Online Course. And it's basically a course that is provided freely on the web. You get access to the lectures, filmed lectures, to problem sets, which we know in French as TP, TD. You get access also to presentations and handouts. You basically get access to everything that the teacher or the university is providing inside the university in the traditional classroom. And the best, normally the best MOOCs out there are in English. The best universities in the world are providing actually these courses. MIT has an open course. Harvard has an open course. Yale, as I mentioned, has an open course. But not only this, we have it also in French and in Arabic. So you basically get access to what the university is teaching to their students in the classroom, but you get it online. That's what a MOOC has. And definitely, if you're studying any topic, you should definitely check online if there is a MOOC providing courses on this topic, because it helps you. As a computer science student, I benefit tremendously from the courses provided by MIT, one of the best technology universities in the world. They provide wonderful courses on programming, on operating system courses, almost anything you can imagine. And it's available for free. You get the audio, the lectures, and everything you can imagine. So that's what a MOOC means. That's what MOOCs means. Of course, if you have any question, you can answer them and I will try to answer them. If not, during the live, I'll try to answer them later on. Mohamed, for computer science students, based Udemy, there are plenty of great e-learning websites. Udacity is definitely a great website. Udacity and Coursera are two good choices. For French speakers, the best one currently is Open Classrooms. Absolutely, Open Classrooms, which used to be known as Site des Zéro, is one of the best online platforms for anyone who speaks French, who wants to learn Java, PHP, anything that has to do with computer science. They have the best classes there. Thank you, Mohamed, for this insight. Abdelhadi is asking, which MOOC do I suggest for English learners? If you are an advanced English student, Yale University has poetry courses available online on YouTube. You basically go to YouTube and you put Yale Open Course Poetry. You will have, I think, 27 or 30 lectures on poetry for advanced English students. But if you're still a beginner, I'm not aware of any MOOC. You have a lot of online courses available. You can find them on YouTube, and you can also find them on blogs. Just like our blog, you have people who have blogs, YouTube channels, and Facebook page, and offering courses. But a MOOC, what I know of, is this Yale course, which is available, as I said, on YouTube, and you can access it freely and start watching it. I watched it, I think, the first 3 lectures 2 years ago. I hope that answers your question. I'm checking if we have other questions. Great. Okay, so let's just go over. Now we're in the Q&A session, but we will just go over the whole presentation that I did now on e-learning. We'll just mention the do some sort of a conclusion or what we call in French résumé to see what we talked about. So we talked about, the first thing we did is we mentioned what do we mean by e-learning, l'apprentissage en ligne. Then we moved on to the advantages and we mentioned being independent, l'indépendance. And then we mentioned being able to access mobility and accessibility. The fact that courses are freely downloadable and accessible online, and you can use them almost anywhere. We have a question. Allow me please to read it, or a comment rather. I prefer this. Great. Aziz is sharing with us a programming website, an Indian programming website. It's available on the group. You can definitely check it. So as I said, we talked about mobility and accessibility, the fact that courses are available freely and easily downloadable. Right after that, we did a little comparison between the cost of e-learning and traditional learning, and we concluded that e-learning is the best. So, tekluva, mukhavida, as far as e-learning is concerned, compared with traditional learning. Then we talked about longevity, the fact that you can use your course on the long run and you don't have to worry about it. Not like in the traditional classroom where when the teacher goes out, you only have notes. We have a question from Ragad. I will try to read it. Did you hear about the initiative of the Million Programmer Arabic? Ragad, I did not hear about this yet for the moment, but what I know of is Ruwaq, which is one of the best platforms that we have for Arab students, for programming and computer science in general. Ruwaq is wonderful. I was checking it just this evening, and it's wonderful. Maybe it's what you're talking about, this initiative, but it's definitely the best I know of. Great. Hamzak is sharing with us a website for English. This is a great question, Talib, because you're asking about certification online. It depends on the MOOC. That you have Yale University, for instance, has a course in line, and it can give you certificates. Once you get this diploma, it's recognized worldwide, and you definitely don't have to worry about it, and you can work with it. In our domain, for instance, computer science, Cisco is known to be an accredited certification, you can say, company. When you get a Cisco certificate, certifying that you finished, for instance, this test, or you finished this training, you will be recognized by companies around the world. And it depends on what kind of e-learning platforms or what kind of MOOCs are you using or following. Once you check the certification, and they usually say it on their website, our certification is accredited or recognized in these countries, but not in other countries. It depends. You basically check every MOOC or every platform, and you see if it's recognized worldwide or not. Do you know about any existing e-learning platform in Mauritania or currently being developed? This is a good question, Dean, because this is all I'm going to say about it for the moment. We are actually working on a platform, an e-learning platform. Our goal is to start with English, then with computer science, and then expand from there. A platform in Mauritania. I know of Mini Naji Academy, but I check it. I know them through Facebook page. I check it online to find a website or a platform that is linked to the Facebook page. Didn't find yet. I'm not sure. But as I mentioned, we're working on a platform. Hopefully, it will be out around 2019. We're working on it, inshallah. And we'll keep, if you're interested on the page, we will keep you updated, inshallah. Yes, the advantages, I stopped at longevity, the fact that you can use your courses for a long time. Then you have challenges. We talked about challenges, motivation, online payment, and copyright issues. These are the challenges that we have facing e-learning in Mauritania, the Maghreb region in general. Of course, I have to mention internet connection. I have to use to mention internet connection is also a challenge in Mauritania. Talib is asking me if I work with Modal. Yes, I started working with Modal, but it did not turn out to be the right option because this is actually part of my end of the year project, PFA. So I have to do something that is worthy of a computer scientist. I can't use a CMS that is already ready and use it for my platform. I've almost installed Modal on a Ubuntu system operating system, but I stopped using Modal. I'm now using PHP to develop my platform. Modal is definitely a great choice. Great, Regadi is sharing with us what he mentioned in his questions. The link is available once again on the website, you can check it. So those were the challenges. Then we talked about MOOCs, we gave a definition of a MOOC. And now we are in the question and answer session. If you have any questions, we'll continue for 5 minutes. Hamsark, if you have any questions, please, or comments, please share them with us. And I will be waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, we will be answering them. Just in waiting for your questions, I would like to thank my friends here at Alias that helped me shoot this live directly. I'd like to thank Hamza, Muhyiddin, and also Fatimatu, who is sending me the questions. As you write them in comments, she sent them to me on privately on Facebook, where I can read them and answer them. Without their help, this live talk wouldn't have been possible. Guys, if you don't have any questions, let me know about it by writing the letter N. I will see it and I will understand that you have no questions, and then we can end this live talk. I was thinking about giving a conclusion or giving a summary of this presentation in French, but as I can see, we're left with people who write English rather fluently, and we don't even have to do that anymore. So just as I said, if you don't have, we have 14 people watching us. If you have questions, please share them with us. Okay, we have Talib. I recommend to you to come here in Morocco for doctorate. Great, that was definitely something that I was thinking about, that we will stay in contact after this live talk, because I was thinking about getting my doctorate in Morocco. I think it's the right option, because we don't have the right, I have a professional master degree and you don't have the right to carry on to a doctorate diploma here in Mauritania, here in Tunisia. So I will be reaching out to you at the end of this live talk, inshallah. Any questions? You have no questions? Write an N. N, as in no questions. Absolutely, we need both methods. Unfortunately, I've been managing to answer questions on RGSM, but not many questions on LES. But I will answer all the questions that were asked in comments in LES right after the end of this live talk. Thank you very much, Mohamed Sadiq, thank you very much. We have a question from Jean. What do you think that beginning an e-learning platform in Mauritania will add as a value to the education system, and will view it as a competition in traditional schooling? This is a great question. We don't really care much about what people think of e-learning in Mauritania, because Mauritania is just a company like any other, not a company, a country like any other country. Countries are developing and Mauritania has to develop. So Mauritania needs e-learning, and we have to bring e-learning to Mauritania. and we will bring it, and we don't care much about what other people think. Traditional schooling has to adapt itself to the changing world. We can't stick to a system that is not functioning, or if the system is not functioning, the people who are responsible of it should try to change it, not just competition. And competition has to come at one point. I mean, you can't expect to stay in a bubble where no competition is needed. And e-learning has to come to Mauritania, and it's on its way to it. And we don't care much about what the traditional school system will think about it, but they should definitely change it, and they should also include it in the system itself. Try to do some sort of blended learning. And Mauritania definitely needs e-learning, and Mauritanian scientists and Mauritanian science students should think about bringing e-learning to Mauritania. Great insight, Jean. Thank you very much, Aziz. Thank you very much. We share the same name. Quels sont les conseils que vous pouvez suggérer aux un jeune diplômé pour profiter de l'e-learning au MOOC? I think that if you have a diploma degree, once you have your diploma, you finish studying at the university. E-learning is a great thing to use to make you more employable, to get a job. Let's suppose that you studied, for instance, management or computer science or marketing. Once you come back, you can use an e-learning platform to go even further in your domain, to study more, and basically you have a lot of free time and you can focus on one topic. A lot of people who come out of the university, they don't get a job. Instead of wasting their time, they would use an e-learning platform to study a topic. They would go in depth to that topic, and then you can, instead of just sitting down at home, use the knowledge that you've learned from this e-learning platform to teach others, because you have the diploma and you have the knowledge. This allows you to become a teacher or create your, maybe even become an entrepreneur. Create your own business or create your own platform and use it to share your knowledge with others. And especially for people who have a diploma, people who finish studying in the university, e-learning offers a lot of possibilities and gives you the chance to study in depth your topic and use it to benefit yourself and benefit others. I hope that answers your questions, Hamza. Jean, yes. I'm happy that you agree with me. I'm happy that you agree with me. Thank you very much. Do you have another question? And you just tell us shortly about yourself and how could you combine English with computer science? Okay, this is a personal question. How did I manage to study computer science along with English? I think it's the answer simply is I love both of them. I love computer science and I love English. And when I got to take my license degree, I decided, instead of working for another company, doing what we call stage, an internship for another company, to create my own website and use it as my project, PFF. And this website would be a website to help others learn English. And it started from there. Just as I mentioned, I love English and I love computer science. So I used my computer science knowledge to develop a website to help others learn English. And it started from there. With the website came the Facebook page and the YouTube channel, and it went from there. And I still I edit my own videos, and basically everything I do on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, is basically done by myself, because I use, as I said, my computer science knowledge to work on my website and work on my English. You need English to study computer science, but when you try to study computer science and at the same time add to it English as a language and be interested in the linguistic side of it, it's a great thing. And all you need is passion and to love both of them and spend your time working on them. I hope that answers your question, Mohamed Amin. I'm waiting for the N's. If you have no questions, write an N. If you no longer have any questions, guys, everyone, if you don't have any questions, write an N and we will understand that you have no questions anymore and we will be able to end this live talk. I will give 2 minutes and we will see. We have a question. Jean, please leave link to your Facebook page and YouTube channel. Yes, I will do, inshallah. The Facebook page is English with Aziz Jean. English. We have, give me 1 moment. I will end the live talk on the page. Thank you very much everyone for watching the live talk on our Facebook page, Learning English Successfully We Don't. We'll stop it right here. Okay, Jean, to answer your question, I'm sorry about that. To answer your question, the Facebook page is English with Aziz. You will find the full name is Learning English Successfully, and I will leave a comment. The YouTube channel will be available on the Facebook page once you log in. It's also Learning English Successfully. Thank you, Mohamed. Tag Mohamed. Mohamed Sark just wrote Learning English Successfully in a comment, so you can access the page if you need to do so. 2 minutes. No problem. Mohamed Jid is coming late. No problem. The live talk will be available on the group. You can watch it again. The rebroadcasting. If you don't have any questions, thank you very much, Mohamed Amin. Thank you very much. It has been an honor being with you. I can't believe that we've spent more than an hour right now. I can't believe that. It went so fast. It went really so fast. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for watching this live talk. I will be available for almost 3 days on the... let me just read this. I can suggest to people who want to learn e-learning that they should try to set their goals and choose online courses aligned with those goals. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Aziz. You have to set your goals and then use online according to your goals. And the key thing with online learning is once you set your goals, try to limit, because the options are unlimited. Try to focus on one course, finish it and then move on to another course instead of taking a lot of courses at the same time and giving up at the end of the day. Try to focus on one course. Thank you very much, Abderrahman. Yes, as I said, you can leave your questions. I will check them. I will stay 3 days following the live talk on RGSM. If you have any questions, I will answer them, inshallah. Thank you very much for your time. Once again, I would like to thank people who helped me shoot this live talk and helped me prepare it. I would like to thank Muhyiddin, Hamza, and Fatima too for the questions that she's sending to me. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure, and maybe I will see you next time or on my page. Have a good night and Jum'ah Mubarak, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.